Imagine waking up one day to find that a massive chunk of land has broken off and fallen into the ocean, creating waves as tall as 100 feet. These waves could wash away entire cities in an instant. Or picture this: a supervolcano erupts, sending so much ash and gas into the atmosphere that the Earth's temperature drops drastically, plunging us into a new ice age. And what if a poisonous monster buried under the ice for centuries suddenly awakens, spreading destruction across the globe? Sounds like a plot from a sci-fi movie, right? But these are real natural threats that could end life on Earth as we know it. Today, we're diving into 6 natural disasters that have the potential to wipe out humanity. Let's get started. First up, let's talk about the Doomsday Glacier. Its real name is the Tsunami Glacier, but why is it called the Doomsday Glacier? Well, you're about to find out. We all know that sea levels are rising, and this is creating huge challenges for humans. But how bad could it get? And how much time do we have before things spiral out of control? The answer lies in this glacier. Located in West Antarctica, the Tsunami Glacier is more than a kilometer deep in some places, deeper than the height of the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world. It's also incredibly wide, stretching 120 kilometers, making it the widest glacier on the planet. To give you an idea of its size, it covers an area of 192,000 square kilometers. That's so massive that you could fit 318 cities the size of Mumbai, or 50 cities like Karachi inside of it. Over the past few decades, this glacier has been melting much faster than the rest of Antarctica, and it has already contributed to a 4-inch rise in global sea levels. But here's the scary part: its location makes it a ticking time bomb. The Tsunami Glacier is just a small part of the West Antarctic ice sheet, but its melting could trigger the collapse of the entire ice sheet. If that happens, global sea levels could rise by 3 meters, or about 10 feet, in the coming years. Why? Because the Tsunami Glacier sits right in the middle of the West Antarctic ice sheet. Experts say that the fate of the entire ice sheet depends on this glacier. If it continues to melt, it could submerge all of West Antarctica, leading to rising seas that would engulf coastal cities like Mumbai, New York, Jakarta, Bangkok, and Dhaka. Let's take a closer look at how this works. The Antarctic ice sheet is incredibly thick in the middle because centuries of snowfall have built it up from within. As it gets heavier, the ice moves outward toward the ocean. These moving glaciers, which have water beneath them, are called ice shelves. Now, global warming is heating both the water and the air, causing these ice shelves to melt, but not all at the same rate. In East Antarctica, the land is above sea level, so ocean water can't reach the glaciers, which means they're melting slowly. But West Antarctica is different. Much of its land is below sea level, so ocean water can seep underneath, weakening and melting the ice much faster. To visualize this, imagine a geological map of Antarctica. The land in the east, marked in red and yellow, is above sea level, while the western part, shown in blue, is mostly below sea level. The darkest blue area is the lowest point, and that's where the Doomsday Glacier is located. Right now, its ice shelf is hanging above the water, but ocean water has already hollowed it out from below. Every year, chunks of ice break off and fall into the ocean, and the water continues to erode it from underneath. Since 1992, ocean water has carved 14 kilometers deep into this glacier. If this process continues at the same rate, it won't be long before the entire glacier collapses into the Antarctic Ocean. The Tsunami Glacier has already contributed 4 inches to rising sea levels over the past 30 years, and if it melts completely, it could raise global sea levels by half a meter. This might happen sooner than we think, as researchers have already found a massive crack in the glacier that's beyond human control. The question isn't if the Tsunami Glacier will collapse, but when. If it does, it could trigger the melting of the West Antarctic ice sheet, raising sea levels by 3 meters. If this happens, coastal cities will have to be evacuated suddenly. According to the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, over 1 billion people currently live in areas that would be affected. The mass migration to higher ground would create severe economic imbalances worldwide. On top of that, the global climate would change rapidly, leading to more frequent tsunamis, hurricanes, and floods. Now let's move on to the Yellowstone Supervolcano. This supervolcano is located in Yellowstone National Park in Wyoming, USA. It's one of the largest and most dangerous supervolcanoes in the world. Unlike a regular volcano, which is like a small mountain that erupts, Yellowstone is a supervolcano filled with massive amounts of magma, or molten rock. If it erupts, its effects won't be limited to the US. It will impact the entire world. The Yellowstone supervolcano lies within a massive caldera, or volcanic crater, that's about 70 kilometers long and 50 kilometers wide. This crater was formed after previous volcanic eruptions. Experts believe that this supervolcano erupts roughly every 600,000 to 700,000 years. The last major eruption happened about 640,000 years ago, with earlier eruptions occurring 1.3 million and 2.1 million years ago. Based on this pattern, scientists suggest that Yellowstone could erupt any time within the next 60,000 years. If Yellowstone erupts, it won't just destroy cities within a 1,000-kilometer radius. The explosion would release volcanic ash and sulfur dioxide into the atmosphere, drastically altering the global climate. Thick clouds of ash would block sunlight for years, causing Earth's temperature to plummet, a phenomenon known as volcanic winter. Crops would stop growing, leading to worldwide food shortages. Even those who survived the explosion would face deadly diseases. On top of that, sulfur dioxide in the atmosphere would cause acid rain. Reports suggest that if Yellowstone erupted today, it could wipe out at least 70% of the global population. Now let's talk about the Cumbre Vieja volcano. This volcano is located on La Palma, one of Spain's Canary Islands, about 700 miles off the northwest coast of Africa. The island was formed by volcanic activity 4 million years ago, and Cumbre Vieja is still active today. Scientists warn that an eruption here could cause a massive landslide, sending a 500 billion-ton chunk of rock crashing into the ocean at 250 kilometers per hour. This could generate a mega tsunami, with waves traveling up to 4,000 miles, devastating coastal cities across Europe, the US, and Africa. Now let's discuss permafrost. Permafrost covers 11% of Earth's land and remains below freezing year-round. It's found in regions like Canada, Russia, and Tibet. Due to global warming, permafrost is now melting, releasing massive amounts of methane gas, a greenhouse gas that's 4 times more potent than carbon dioxide. This could raise Earth's temperature by 8 degrees Celsius, causing catastrophic climate changes. Scientists estimate that within the next 50 to 70 years, 70% of permafrost could melt. Even if we stop using fossil fuels today, there's no way to halt this process. But wait, there's more. Let's talk about asteroid impacts. You might think this is just something from the movies, but it's a real threat. About 66 million years ago, an asteroid hit Earth, causing the extinction of the dinosaurs. Scientists believe that a similar event could happen again. In fact, NASA is constantly monitoring near-Earth objects to predict potential impacts. While the chances are low, the consequences would be catastrophic. An asteroid just 1 kilometer in diameter could cause global devastation, triggering fires, tsunamis, and a nuclear winter effect that would block sunlight and disrupt agriculture worldwide. Finally, let's not forget about solar flares. The sun is constantly emitting energy, but sometimes it releases massive bursts of radiation called solar flares. These flares can disrupt satellites, power grids, and communication systems. In 1859, a massive solar flare known as the Carrington event caused telegraph systems to fail and even sparked fires. If a similar event happened today, it could knock out power grids worldwide, leading to widespread blackouts and chaos. While solar flares aren't likely to wipe out life on Earth, they could certainly cause massive disruption to our modern way of life. So there you have it, 6 natural threats that could end life on Earth. From the Doomsday Glacier and Yellowstone supervolcano to asteroid impacts and solar flares, these dangers remind us of how fragile our planet really is. While some of these events may seem far off, others are already happening, like the melting of the Doomsday Glacier and permafrost. The question is, what can we do to prepare? The first step is awareness. By understanding these threats, we can take steps to mitigate their impact and protect our future. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating content. Stay safe, everyone.